Hello, hello. So it's been quite a while since I have done a Facebook Live. I just have been I think, hibernating a little bit for the winter. But today I thought, let me share with you guys some tips I have about stress. So get excited if you want to make those small shifts to get those bigger changes. Get ready to do that and stay tuned. So today I'm going to talk about catastrophization, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with this term. I actually learned it, in the past few years. I didn't know it growing up, but essentially it's when your brain just goes down that rabbit hole of the worst case scenario, and you just think that you prepare yourself for like the world coming to an end in any given situation. So this happened to me. Well, okay, first of all, this used to happen to me all the time, every day. Now I can catch myself before, like right in the beginning, before I really take that deep dive into catastrophizing. But just a little caveat for you doctors out there listening, it's our job to catastrophize for a living. We have to rule out the worst case scenario all the time. So I think it comes as second nature. And of course, that's a great quality to have as a physician, because you want to make sure your patients are safe and well. But when it bleeds into our personal lives and outside of work, it can be a lot to take on and deal with. So soon after my son was born, I think I was on month 2 of maternity leave, and I was getting a little itchy, antsy to get back to work. So there was an office meeting, and I just wanted some adult interaction. So I got a babysitter, and I went in just for like a quick meeting. When I came back, I wasn't gone for very long. When I came back, I noticed a cold sore on the babysitter's lip. It was bright red. I don't know. I must have just like run out the door and not noticed it like in the beginning. So of course, for physicians out there, we know that this can cause, that has the herpes virus, and it can cause in newborns herpes encephalitis, which can have detrimental effects on a newborn's brain, nervous system, etc. So of course, I was freaking out on the inside. I asked her to leave, and then I started thinking, okay, she made him a baby bottle. Like, what if she touched the cold sore, and then she touched the nipple of the bottle, and then he was drinking it, and now he's going to catch it? And, I just jumped to the worst case scenario. Now, there is also the possibility that she wasn't touching her cold sore. She washed her hands before she made the bottle, and all was fine. But I remember I spent probably the entire day in agony that something was going to happen to him. I think I called a family friend pediatrician of mine to, put my fears to rest. And it ended up that, he didn't catch herpes encephalitis. It was fine. But I probably could have saved myself some of the grief if I had just recognized what was happening like at the time and didn't let my brain just go into that like whirly swirly motion of freaking out in worst case scenarios. So I'm going to give you 6 handy tips that I find really useful when I'm feeling stressed or I feel that my brain going down the rabbit hole. One is notice where it is in your body. So if you feel, often for me, it's a tightness in my throat. That helps to just identify like what's happening. So you can kind of pull yourself out of your mind in the situation if you just notice what's happening within you, in your body, etc. And then try and take a few deep breaths. That's always helpful and centering. And notice when you exhale, when you exhale, you feel the sense of relief, like your body releases, it feels better. So that's just kind of an immediate quick fix. It also just kind of brings you to the moment and you feel better. And then you have to ask yourself, am I feeling anxious? Why do I feel anxious? What's the worst case scenario, right? So you can go ahead and play that out. What is the worst case scenario? But then once you actually think about that, what is the likelihood that this worst case scenario would actually happen? And something else that can be useful is you think about, did this happen before? And at that time, what was the outcome? Did the worst case scenario happen? Because many times we just end up spending a lot of time and energy assuming the worst, and 90% of the time that worst case scenario doesn't actually happen. So regardless, our preparation for something bad happening, I don't know how much good that does for us, because if something bad does happen, we're going to have to deal with it regardless. I don't think preparing ourselves really gives us any benefit. So those are my tips. If you like these tips or you want more of it, please comment in the comments, like with a wave, or say me, and I will send you an anti-anxiety toolkit ebook that has tons more tips like this. If you are watching this live, type in #live. If you're watching it later, if you can do #replay so it reaches more people, and give it a heart instead of likes, that would be cool too. So feel free to let me know if you want that anti-anxiety toolkit. You can direct message me. And also, you can go to my website, www.stresscleansemd.com, for more tips, info. Hop on my email list and I send out tips, and I'll have a blog tomorrow more about catastrophization and, these tips, etc. So yeah, say hi to me and we could chat more if you want to get 2021 off to the right foot, and hopefully we can say goodbye to this interesting, to say the least, in some ways terrible year, put it behind us, and really learn to deal with our stress and feel less agony, etc. All right, well, thanks for tuning in.